She is an author and a teacher with a passion for teaching others not only to read, but to write. PeTika Tave is our guest tonight on Authors in Conversation. I'm your host, Pamela D. Marshall. I'm the author of The Art of Forgiveness, and I have the honor and pleasure of interviewing many of the authors who will be a part of the 2023 Sunshine State Book Festival in Gainesville, Florida, January 27th and 28th. PeTika Tave, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
PeTika, you're a teacher. You go around speaking at different places and schools and events. What is it about this passion that you have for reading and writing?
Well, I've actually it developed in high school because I've always had a knack for writing. I really didn't know it was a gift, but I had a very impactful teacher in not elementary in high school, and it was my AP writing classes. And there was always this student. I can't even remember her name, but me and her were so competitive at who got the highest score on essays and who could articulate their ideas best in writing. And so I've come to recognize it as a gift. And I've used that gift to help me get to many different places in life. And so when I decided to write my first book, it was actually to help protect my daughter from low self esteem and negative thoughts that she could have because of my struggles with weight loss. And it just turned into something I never thought it would and have imagined. And I'm just excited to be here.
Well, I really appreciate you being here.
Life. And so when I decided to
Oh
write my first
gosh,
teen and
PeTika, you're
negative thoughts.
talking down here too.
Oh, I was like, wait, that was a good echo.
I was sharing your conversation. So, hey, Eliza Dukes Carter, greetings of peace. Thank you for watching, Eliza. So PeTika, so you were writing. What was your first book about? You said you were writing for your daughter. How old is your daughter, or how old was your daughter then?
She was, well, actually, she wasn't born because I actually wrote poems to
Huh.
her back in 2009 because I struggled with my weight my entire life and I suffered from low self esteem because of it. I was 300 pounds in the eighth grade, and then I blossomed to 427 by the age of 22 when I had my first child. And so when I found out I was having her, I knew I did not want her to struggle the way I did with negative self image, negative commenting, things of that nature. So I wrote poems to her and I shared it with my best friend in the whole wide world. And she said, you should turn these poems into a children's book. And that's what I did. But I sat on it for about 10 years. And then I finally, in 2019, December, published the first book after one of my colleagues at the time said, you can pick my brain, because she had recently published her book. She said, you can pick my brain and figure out what you need to know to make this book a reality. And that's what I did. And it has just been a whirlwind ever since.
Okay, let's go back to 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Which grade were you in? And you were eighth grade?
Eighth grade, 13 years old, 6 feet tall, 300 pounds.
Bless your sweetheart.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that like for you?
Horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Not only was I one of the tallest, if not the tallest girl in the school, I was also heavy. So I was then the big tall girl. Everyone loved me because I was just a nice sweetheart, but my shyness and meekness, it was unbearable. I don't think people realized how much I suffered, but I did. And it was not the best time in my life. People were nice to me, but I just didn't feel good about myself. And it just lingered. I was constantly on weight loss programs, trying to get healthy. I spent hours at the gym. Nothing ever seemed to work. And, I was just like, am I cursed to be big my entire life? Because I really didn't realize the value of who I am just the way I am, or who I was just the way I was, because I wanted to fit molds that I thought were of beauty. And I just didn't want my daughter to grow up like that.
So, PeTika, um, and you said people were nice, so it
Yeah.
wasn't so much what kids were saying to you. it was all of the images that you saw that and a 13-year-old at 300 pounds was not what you wanted to be.
Yeah.
And people thinking that you're 300 pounds at 13 years old because you are doing this. What
Hmm.
how are you managing what was happening in your life, and how are your parents managing what was
They,
happening in your life?
yeah, it broke their heart, and I can understand why. I'm the youngest of six, and they didn't understand what I was going through. But if you can imagine, all my brothers and sisters are way older than me, and I went from having a house full of brothers and sisters to just me. And then I had issues with my neighbors. They ended up moving, and so all of a sudden I went from having a lot of people around to just being alone, or at least in my head. And then because I was always taller than everyone, finding someone that appreciated me just the way I was not easy. And at that age, I don't know why I was so hung up on trying to have like a boyfriend and stuff, but that's what teenagers do. And it really hurt that because I was so large and so tall that I just didn't fit the bill. And so that just negative self-esteem, feeling alone, and really just not having people to talk to impacted me a lot. And I really didn't realize how much it impacted me until as I got older, I realized how shy I was. And my dad and my mom, they were always so supportive. My mom went on weight loss programs with me to try to
Mm,
encourage me. But it's just one of those things where you have to battle your internal demons. And oftentimes as children or teenagers, we can't articulate how we're feeling. We just feel that way. And so it's really rough, and that's why I speak a lot on how to assist people in your life that you know are making poor choices, at least when it comes to weight, because what we think may work is not helping. And so ultimately, I had to decide within myself that I wanted to make a change, and I did, but then I would gain the weight back. And so I kept losing and gaining, losing and gaining. And then finally, when I hit 22, had my son, and I was all over 400 something pounds, I had to say, I'm going to live for my son or die for food. And at that point, I decided that I did not want him being ashamed of his mom. And I had to do something about my weight. And I did.
ah, Patika, so you I'm I don't always know what to say either,
Mm-hmm.
because we all have, and what does a 13-year-old, 14, 15, 16-year-old, 22-year-old know about battling internal demons? Because we're not taught about our spirituality. We're not taught about how to deal with the internal things that are causing us to do whatever we do. Hey, can you tilt your laptop down a little bit? Because right
Sure.
now your mouth is right behind your,
Oh, okay. Is that better?
yeah, behind your
Okay.
name. Yeah, that's much better. That's so much better. So much better.
Okay, let me see if I can fix the lighting a little bit too. Okay,
Okay.
there we go. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So tell me, what did you know about trying to manage internal demons?
I didn't. I really didn't. I just survived the best way I could. And my parents, one thing that I did have going for me was everyone loved my smile. And then my I was blessed with the ability to grasp information very quickly. So I knew that I had talents and I knew that I had strengths. So within that, even though I struggled on the inside with how I looked and my weight, I always knew that there was something special about me. And so whenever I had, negative thoughts and those things, those voices telling me, like, you're not good enough, I knew I was. I just had to try to figure out how to get to the point where I believed it 100% and believed in me. So if you can imagine, I had all the external success you could imagine: scholarships, all A's, just good friends for the most part. People really didn't pick at me, like I said before. But I also had my own self telling me that I'm not good enough. So it's still something that I struggle with in terms of just trying to make sure I watch my words with myself. But at that young age, because I was the youngest of so many older siblings, I was able to better manage my emotions, or at least cover them up and deal with them.
The book that you've written, so you started writing these books,
Mhm.
or the poems to your daughter. How old are
Yes.
your children now?
My daughter is 12. She'll be 13 next month, and my son is 19.
Because of what you went through, have you felt like you have been keeping a watchful eye on your daughter's size or your son's size? And, were you concerned about that?
I was very concerned. And that's why I wrote the book, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't stress her out about her weight based on my own insecurities and experiences. And I wanted to make sure that whatever her result was, if she was tall, short, large, or thin, that she knew that she was enough because of who she is within, that she is a gift to the family just the way she is. And that is the message of my books. You are beautiful as you are, inside and out, just the way you are.
PeTika Tave is an author and a motivational speaker and an amazing woman. And to start writing for her children before they were even conceived, and because you were concerned about what they might face based on what you faced. What has the journey been like for your daughter and your son as far as the things that you were concerned about for you?
It has been amazing. They were blessed with confidence beyond belief. Well, my son is a little different because he actually struggled because he's darker skinned. And the world is not always kind to people with a darker complexion. So I had to make sure I helped him understand you are wonderful just the way you are. But he also has a very athletic build. He's 6'5" right now, and he's just a marvelous piece of sun. And he's doing well. And he had other struggles, but he's learned to manage them because of the tools that I've taught them to understand who you are and appreciate what you have. My daughter, she is amazing as well. She's tall. Her dad is 6'6", and so I knew that she would be tall like me. I didn't know how she would fill out. Would she be prone to gain weight like I was, or would she have a different metabolism set? And so she's done wonderfully well. She taught me how to hula hoop when she was 4 years old. She's a natural born leader. She just made she made the cheer team last year, and she made cheer captain this year.
Oh,
She just
wow.
won. Yeah, she just won homecoming princess. And I even prayed. I said, wow, all the things that I struggled with as a child, I'm getting to watch my daughter live that.
Oh.
And she's so confident. She is who she is. She teaches herself what she wants to know. I can remember when she was like 5 years old, she saw some dancers at a school. And it wasn't the dancing she was impressed with. They had on lipstick. And she said, Mommy, I want to wear lipstick. I said, you can't wear lipstick. I said, and she said, well, why not? I said, you're too young. She said, well, they're young. I said, but they're dancers. They have to wear lipstick because they're dancers. She's like, I want to be a dancer. And so she she prepared herself all summer long to try out for the dance team, because that was the first year that they let, I think it was kindergarten, no, it was first graders try out for the dance team. She tried out, she made it, and she did it every year up until 5th grade because she wanted to wear lipstick.
How do you think that's amazing, but how do you think your struggles and your concern for your children have been able to translate into what you take to other schools and events that you speak in front of all across the community?
Well, it
Now, what
has,
part of Florida are you in?
I'm in Northeast Florida, Jacksonville.
Okay.
And yeah, so we're actually preparing for Hurricane Nicole now. But
Yeah.
to answer your question, it's helped me understand that the message we need to give our children again is that they are enough. Because I didn't want to focus on, I don't want you eating this because I don't want you to get heavy. But I want you to learn how to eat what you enjoy in moderation.
Well, what did you say
Everything
to her? Hold on a second. So, what did you say to her? For parents who are perhaps, because this situation is also reversed. There's some
mm-hmm,
people who were petite and then they have children who have challenges with their weight. What advice
mm-hmm.
do you give parents or other people who are in the lives of children who seem to be overweight or have challenges with skin tone?
Yeah.
Uh, Children who are darker than other children. What's your advice for that?
Well, I'll speak on the weight first. The worst thing anyone can do to someone that's struggling with their weight is to tell them what to eat. That's the worst thing you can do, because that's going to hurt them and make them go and eat in silence or alone even more. So what I always stress now is be healthy. Let's be healthy. Let's make a choice. I still enjoy dessert. So I lost almost 200 pounds the good old fashioned way with Weight Watchers and exercise. I didn't have any surgery, not to knock anybody that did, but I wanted to do it. I don't like to do other stuff, but I wanted to do it naturally so I would know how to train myself to make good, healthy eating choices. And from that, I have allowed my children to enjoy what they like, but also balance that with fruits and vegetables. So here we are. That was in 2006. Here we are 16 years later. I've kept 150 of those pounds off. And so, what I like to emphasize and tell parents is to talk to their children first about how they're feeling. Because if you can recall, I mentioned that I was eating because I was alone. And so, if we talk to our children, have conversations with them about how things are going, don't just say, how was school? How was school? What did you learn? But how are you? How do you feel?
Yeah,
What did you enjoy today? You know,
yeah.
tell me something great you learned, or tell me somebody that made you smile today. What did you do to make someone else smile? Have those conversations, get in their head, check on their mental health, because kids suffer a lot more than you all realize. And when they come to school, and they want to talk to Miss Tave, I'm like, oh boy, what are they going to tell me? Because we're mandated reporters. So if they tell me something, that I have to report, I do. But I also don't want to keep them from sharing things and their feelings with me. So just talk to your children. That's the first step in helping them appreciate who they are and let them know that they matter. And then if you do see a problem development, okay, your child's getting a little more chunky, then guess what? Let's have a banana for dessert. Let's eat some watermelon with Cool Whip on top. Not you, let's. Hey, let's go for a walk today. It's really nice outside. Let's do that. Start incorporating those little healthy habits in, and you'll be surprised, or maybe you won't, but they will take on those habits and make them their own. And eventually, they may, as they get older, take those little tidbits you gave them and turn it into a lifestyle change that they can maintain. And for the skin tone, teach them that they are enough. My son would come home, Mama, they call me this and they call me that. I said, boy, do they know you? Who cares what they
Mm,
said? You
yeah,
know who you are. What's that song? The blacker the bear, the sweeter the juice. Yeah, you just have to build him up and let him
yeah.
know you are beautiful, you are brilliant, you are handsome, you are smart. What are some of your other talents? And that's one of the things I talk to parents about as well when I'm selling my books. They say, oh, I tell my child that they're this and they're that all the time. That's where we mess up. We're telling the children that. Let them tell you what they think about themselves,
Mm,
because you may be surprised. Because if we're constantly feeding them what we want them to know,
yeah,
and they never reciprocate or tell us that, how do we know they believe that?
yeah,
How do we know that they're just not saying, yeah, I am, because you told them?
yeah, yeah. Wow, your book is beautiful as you are.
Yes.
That is the book. That's your first book.
Right. Hmm.
And so it includes the poems that you wrote to your daughter.
Yeah.
And
Well,
what
the
are the
book is, oh, go ahead. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, you tell me, it's your book.
Oh no, the book itself is a poem. So I had a series of poems, and so I turned that book is one poem. And so my goal is to
Really?
make all the other books their own poem as well.
Ah. That's wonderful. So they all have to do with self-esteem.
Well, these two right here, and I have them with me if you want to look at it. So the
Please.
girl book, Beautiful as You Are, this one does, and then the complimentary one, Brilliant as You Are, as well. Because I wrote Brilliant as You Are because people were like, "This book, Beautiful as You Are, is amazing. We need one for boys." And so then I
Ah,
said, "Oh, I guess I'll do Brilliant." And so these two books are affirmations, and they also feature a space for your child to write what they love most about themselves, and it has that there. And then because as you heard me mention, I do encourage discussion among parents. They both have discussion questions that children and parents can talk about their day, what they love, etc. And one of my favorite pieces in each book is the ending statement where it says, "Always remember and know this to be true. You are brilliant as you are because you're the one and only you." And I just want them to know that that's what makes them special,
I
who they
love
are.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Breathologist Eliza Duke Carter says that so many of our youth struggle with having low self-esteem, and that you are beautiful just the way you are, and inside and out, just amazing. Yes, question them about how they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, as adults, sometimes because people have so many things on their agenda, parents, like parents' relationships,
Yeah.
like jobs, keeping a roof over the head, lights
Mm-hmm.
on, food on the table, that parents forget. Do you ever do anything just for parents so that they can be okay and know that whatever you're providing, the most important thing that you can provide to your child is you? We
Yeah.
think like we're headed toward the holiday season, and we think
Mm-hmm.
we have to buy Amazon out and fill up the Christmas tree. And I'm going to tell you, children remember more about what you do with them than they know about what you gave them in the first grade or kindergarten or 11th grade for a Christmas present.
Yes. Well, and that's something that I can look into even more, but I'm a single mom, and because of what you said, I actually one of my other loves is personal finance. And so because of that, I wrote a personal finance book because one of the things that my children and I value is spending time together, quality time. So they're not in a house full of toys. They're in a house full of memory books of vacations and trips we take. And if you can
Mm.
imagine, I'm a teacher and I'm single. So we don't have a lot to give. But what I do have, I manage it very well to try to create those experiences. And so I wrote my personal finance book because so many people ask me, "PeTika, how are you able to have your house and go all these places and do these things when you're a single mom?" I said, "It's because I value my time with my children. And so I prioritize that so I can make sure that we go on a trip, at least 2 to 3 every year, and I make sure we have money." Now, do we get to go jet skiing and stuff when we go? Maybe not. But will we go to the free museums and go on the walk in the tourist areas? Absolutely. And then I come back and I make picture books out of it, take your pictures and then go to
Oh.
Walgreens, make a book so that they have those memories. And one of the most treasured memories I was able to do is because we lost my dad last year
Mhm.
and he was 80 years old. He vacationed with us as well. You cannot replace those memories that those experiences and those picture books create. And so parents have to ask themselves, do they want their children to be happy with the latest iPhone until the next one comes out in 5 months? Or
Yeah.
do you want your child to be happy remembering the first time they saw snow, or the first time they saw a beach, or when their grandpa put dishwashing soap in the dishwasher and filled the apartment or the room with bubbles? Which one is going to make the lasting impression? And obviously, grandpa messing up the dishwasher is going to take the cake. And so we want to value what time we have, because really I didn't appreciate it, but I know it now. With our children, we only get those little 18 years before they are actually able to say, okay, mom, I'm gone. And then
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
we have left? So
Yeah.
you got to cherish that time, cherish those moments. And hopefully, if you have a great relationship, they'll still come around and spend time with you. But it's not like that one-on-one every day. Hey, mom, how you doing? Or boy, you better go clean your room, that we get to experience. So we want to take the time to manage our money properly so we can have those opportunities to share with them.
PeTika, you're going to be at the Sunshine State Book Festival.
Yes.
How how important is that for you to be there so that the readers, because the theme of this year's book festival is bringing readers and authors together. How
Mhm.
special will that be for you?
It'll be very special for me because along this journey, I never knew all of the resources and events and things that exist. So it's opened up a whole new world for me. And in my efforts to promote my books around town, me and my daughter and I spend a lot of time with her, we've done vending events. And I can't tell you, sometimes I wish I just had a camera set up, because adults have gone to tears when they open my books or even see the books and read the books, and they're just like, oh my gosh. And I've had people just grab it and read the first couple pages and just start tearing up. I had one lady
Really?
start boohoo crying because they were like, I needed this. I needed this when I was a kid. And I'm so thankful to you for
Oh,
making it available now. And even some of my customers don't have children, but they get the books because they say, I know there's somebody, some child somewhere that needs this message. And that makes me happy because I never thought that this would be the result of my words to my daughter. So to be able to share it in a forum such as the Sunshine State Book Festival is amazing. And I'm just looking forward to that and all the other opportunities making this book, putting this book out there has brought me and my daughter.
well, can you read that page to us?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Hi, Jessie
Yeah,
Moore
I
in
can.
Jackson, Tennessee. Oh, she's on, but I want you to. I'm going to read her comment, but if you would read the book first for us, that first
Okay.
page.
Okay. It says, and actually it's both in both ones because they're gendered, because I wrote one for my daughter and for my son. It says for the girl books, and I'll just show you. It says, hold on. Young girl, you are beautiful as you are. And if you look at the image, because I carefully chose the images with the illustrator to kind of get the emotions across that I wanted. So you can see she's looking sad, but her mom is telling her, girl, you're beautiful just the way you are. And then the same for the boy. Young boy, you are brilliant as you are. And then we go on to the next page. We give some adjectives: handsome, curious, smart, creative. And then it goes on to tell us whether tall or short, big or thin, you are brilliant as you are because of who you are within. And then the same for the little girl book: wonderful, intelligent, smart, attractive. And then whether tall or short, big or thin, you are perfect as you are because of who you are within. And then the next page talks to social media. You are not the pictures in a magazine or the made up people on the TV screen. So she's looking and getting that images in there. And
And
then
you
it
know what
goes on
else
to
I like? You know what else I
mhm,
like, Patika?
what? Yeah.
We want people to buy your book. So you don't have to read it
Okay.
all to them. But where
Oh,
can they get your book if they don't come to the Sunshine Book Festival? What I was going to say is I love the little Afro puffs, you know,
yeah.
looking like a little black girl.
Hmm.
Yeah. You know, let's so you have a website, and we're
Yes.
going to put that in the chat later, but I want you to share with you what Jesse Moore said. I'm so happy to be able to listen in tonight. I'm enjoying your guest and you are both so on point. Thanks for sharing a much needed dialogue.
Thank you. Thank you. That's
And
love it.
then yeah, Eliza, breathologist Eliza says, as adults we are still needing to release and heal. Thank you, Fatika. And
You're
that's
welcome.
sweet, powerful
Yes,
words of
definitely.
self assurance and
Yes.
much more.
Thank you.
Isn't that wonderful? And our good friend Louise McKinney, Davis Louise McKinney, beautiful books.
Thank you.
What are your children saying about what mommy is doing?
They love it. My daughter, she actually does a lot of the work with me. My son's the muscles. He helps set up the events. And my daughter, we've been on several news stations here in Jacksonville, and she gets to come on the interviews with me. And they always ask her, how does it feel? She's like, it's amazing because I get to help my mom. And she's also learning business. And she gets to see the impact of the books that were made because of her. She's like, I'm the inspiration. So that gives her
Oh,
joy to say that. And she gets to see the impact it's making on other kids in the community as well. And so, and then it gives us time to spend together too. So instead of us going shopping all the time, we get to go help other people shop with our
yeah.
books and things of that nature. And so she enjoys it. And she's actually working on one herself. It inspired her to
Oh,
go
that's
ahead and write her
wonderful.
book.
That
Hmm.
is wonderful.
Thank you.
PeTika Tave, ah, inspirational author, but also you lost 150 pounds and you've kept 150 pounds. Now, how many did you lose altogether?
I lost almost 200. And
Lost
so,
almost 200 pounds
yes,
and you've kept 150 off.
correct. Yes.
Fist bump.
Oh, camera.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
we
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Way to
Yeah.
go,
Thank
PeTika.
you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. And actually with that journey, I won the 2006 Weight Watchers Inspiring Stories of the Year for the Southeast region, and I was able to meet Duchess Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, and they flew me to New York, and I was actually on the Today Show back then as well.
What? Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate you having time for us here at the Wellness Network after being in New York.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. And congratulations to you and all the work that you're doing. Congratulations to your son and your daughter. They sound like amazing people who love their mom so much. And that's a beautiful thing in and of itself. So, congratulations to you and what you've accomplished with your children. But you are not stopping there. You're spreading this message to every other child, every other adult who still, as Eliza says, they're adults who still need to heal because of those same things that you talk about. And, to my brother Reginald, who has lost 110 pounds, and
Congratulations.
I asked Reggie about going to his high school reunion, and he's never gone back. Well, I don't know what Reggie went through, but I wish he had told me. And and I'm still interested in knowing who said whatever to him because
Mm-hmm.
he never told us. I don't think he ever said anything to anybody about
Mm-hmm.
what he might have been going through. But he's so cute, and he's always been so cute just the way he was. He's
Mm-hmm.
healthier now, and we're very thankful. And congratulations to Reggie. But anybody who feels like that it's appropriate for you to treat anybody any differently because of anything, stop it
Mm-hmm. Yes. Please.
and tell all your children to stop it too.
Exactly. Yes. Because we see so much in the classroom. And I know that parents don't condone some of the things children say, but they say it. And when you say, not my little Jimmy, oh, yes, your little Jimmy said that. It's so it's really important. And for him, your brother, I would encourage him to go because whether he lost the weight or not. It's so interesting to connect with those people all these years later, and they may or may not remember what it is that happened or whatever. It's just networking in 2022, and it's just something to do. And one thing I did learn also, when people are afraid to go to the gym, Well, actually, when you start talking to people that work out and they look like they were just born with the body to, just be oh awesome and happy with, they worked too. They had
Yes,
a journey and
right,
they
right.
worked. And when you talk to people, you learn their journey and you realize you're not suffering in silence and you actually build community to help you achieve your goals. And
Reggie,
that's what helped me as well.
yeah, Reggie is doing quite well. He is president of Tennessee Farm Small Farmers Association and
Oh,
just got
awesome.
appointed to a position with the Biden administration. His
Oh,
network has
wow.
grown a
Yes.
little bit. So congratulations to Reggie on that. Patika, thank you again. I am so thrilled to be able to meet you via StreamYard and so looking forward to meeting you on January 27th and 28th here in Gainesville, Florida at the Sunshine State Book Festival. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe because we're going to be talking to other authors who will be there. And what a wonderful thing to be able to hear the voices behind the pen and the paper. Again, P- Patika.
Petite. And did you want me to tell you where you can get the books as well?
Please,
'Cause
please, please.
okay. So they are available on Amazon. But if you go to my website, Baya Books, BAYABOOKS, you can either buy the hard copies there or it'll have a link for you to get the soft copies from Amazon because I know some people just want to get it real quick like that. So it just tells you all the different locations. And if you're in Jacksonville, we actually are in a few stores also. So I would just love,
Wonderful.
yeah, thank you. We work hard, but we're there. And so my website, buyabooks.com, it allows you to see all the different places you can get the books. And we would love to be able to share the message with children that you love or yours as well.
Again, thank you very much. And I hope you all will pick up a book as a Christmas gift, something that will last past 11 o'clock on Christmas morning. A
Mhm.
book. Give a
Yeah.
book for Christmas.
And a
Yeah,
message that lasts a lifetime.
a message that will last a lifetime. Thank you. Well, I really appreciate all of you joining us. I thank you for watching us. And I thank you for liking and for sharing. And I really appreciate your wonderful comments tonight. We will see you next time on Authors and Conversations. I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV and at the Wellness Radio TV podcast. Remember, there is healing at the well. Make it a fantastic moment. We'll see